Welcome back, everyone. Welcome to She Rises Through It. Before we dig into the episode today, more goodies, right? Retreat is almost 17 days away. I am so excited for this retreat and to unwind, pause, reset, turn inward, and just be surrounded with a group of like-minded individuals and women that just need this pause for themselves, to come back to themselves, to realize that they are so worthy and they are so enough in this life, in this journey that they are on. And I want to invite you. I have 3 spots left, and these 3 spots are going to go fast. So I want you to hop on over to my website, sydneyjocelyn.com, and get registered because you do not want to miss this. I have 2 options left. There is a bunk bed option, and then there is your own bed option. The bunk bed is $520, and then your own bed is $585. So not much of a price difference there. You just get your own bed or you share a bunk bed with someone. And the other gal that has the other bed for the bunk bed, she's phenomenal. She has such a heart of gold and is a very close friend of mine. So I am so excited that she is going to be coming on this journey with me too. And it's so beautiful because we're both at the same journey kind of together, just in different stages and different avenues. But we get to cheer each other on and watch each other grow in the process. So I don't want you to miss that. Anywho, second update, I briefly mentioned these last times, but bioactive precision peptides, guys. These are going around the block like no other. There's so many different items out there like GLP-1s, and the pharmaceutical company is starting to take over a lot into the wellness and weight loss journey. However, bioactive precision peptides are so different, and I absolutely love them. I kid you not. When I first started taking them in the first 3 months, my cortisol levels dropped, my inflammation levels dropped, and I was feeling my best self. So I want to make sure that you get on this journey with me because I want you to feel your best self. When we take care of our health and our wellness and our mindset, so many new becomings start opening up and we start feeling better and we start coming home to ourselves. So we're going to talk more about that in the episode today, but I just want to kind of like brief your mind on it. And then I want you to hop on over to the show notes, check out my link, go check them out. I do have some coupon codes as well. So if you are interested, we can talk about that too. Just DM me on Instagram at Sydney Jocelyn, or if you go to my website, shoot me a message over there as well. I get those emails so quickly that I will get back to you ASAP. When I tell you I see everything come through, I want you to know that you are on my mind always. And I'm making sure that if you reach out, I am there. I am touching base with you, and you're not going to be going through any of this alone. So let's hop on over to the because what if, right? What if? I can't wait to start this journey with you. Let's head on over. Welcome to She Rises Through It, a space for honest becoming, slow growth, in the unfiltered middle of motherhood, healing, business, and building a life that actually feels good. I'm Sydney, and this podcast is where I reclaim my voice in real time. It's not about doing more, it's about doing it differently. If you're craving real conversations, soulful pauses, and a reminder that you're not alone in the messy becoming, you're in the right place. And just a reminder before we begin, I'm not a medical or mental health professional. Everything shared here is based on my lived experience. Please seek qualified care if you're needing support. You deserve it. You're not behind, you're becoming. Welcome back, beautiful souls. I'm so glad and thankful. That kind of just doesn't make sense together, but you know how I roll. I speak from the heart. So I am just so thankful that you guys are here on another episode of She Rises Through It. And this week has been a lot of reflection, a lot of gratitude, and a lot of what ifs. So I really want to play with those two little words today that hold so much power. And ironically, this popped into my life on Sunday. The words of what if. What if today was the day that you chose to start over? Like, let's just think about that for a second. What if? Right? And what if you finally took the leap you've been waiting on? You've been holding in your heart, but you just don't know when to do it. And what if you lean fully into becoming the best version of yourself? Those two words, what if, I kid you not, can open a door to endless possibilities. For me, I didn't know what it would look like. Sitting in my casita in Costa Rica, telling my husband, I know I cannot go back to work. At that moment in my life, the what if was, well, what if this doesn't work out? What if I fail? What if this? What if that? But here's the thing. I didn't focus on the negatives of that. You know, my husband had all the questions. Jordan was like, well, what about money? What are we going to do for our family? What about this? What about that? And all of these what ifs. But I was looking at the opposite. What if I got my life back? What if I found myself again? What if it all works out? What if? If we just change that into an optimistic, positive mindset and positive way in life and being grateful for where we're at, it can open a door to endless possibilities. And yeah, absolutely. They can feel terrifying at first. Absolutely. There have been so many days that I have been like, what did I just do? What did I just do? But also, they've felt like the very invitation that my soul's been waiting for and that I've been waiting for. Finally feeling so alive again. Feeling like, yes, I have this. I can do hard things. And here's the thing. I'm excited to do all of that. I am so excited. So let's kind of just dig deeper into like all of this, right? For me, showing up and starting over has shown up in my life over and over and over again in different seasons. And it's been leaving behind things that are comfortable and shifting into a brand new role for me. I have switched careers in my life because I needed more. I was not being challenged to my full potential. And that's a big thing. I need to be challenged. I need to be challenged to be able to push out of the box, to find new opportunities that are going to build and strive a business forward. And every time I've switched those careers, I've had to stand in the tension of what if this doesn't work out? And here's the thing. My what ifs then weren't helping me reach my full potential. Not one bit. It was complete lateral moves. They weren't progressions forward. And here's the truth. This pause that I took, the reset that I took, that what if has pushed me to know what I can do and what I can accomplish and what I can achieve in this life. And starting over, you guys, doesn't mean that you're wiping the slate clean. Like none of it mattered. I thought that at first. I was like, wow, look at what I just did. And I think that's the raw truth of what I'm going to bring is I had all of these doubts in my head. I had the negative doubts, but I also had the positive doubts. And getting to see it day after day and seeing how I was showing up better and seeing how I was able to focus on the positives and find myself again, that's what it was all about for me. That's what it was all about. And being able to share my voice with others to know that they're not alone in their hardships. We may be walking through life with like these brightest smiles on our face and never really taking the time to reflect on what has been bogging us down and reflect on what if I did start over. You're not erasing anything. You're just creating a new chapter. And it carries so much wisdom with you. When you go into a new chapter, everything you've gone through, all the lessons, all the bruises, all the moments of joy, all the moments of how am I going to survive this? You're letting those support you to help you rise again. And that's what I did. I found a way to rise again in my what ifs. And I'm going to tell you something. The last, 5 months, probably, I've been kind of shifting things around, right? I've been focusing on yoga. I've been focusing on my branding. I've been focusing on retreats and everything like that. And it's all happening. It is all happening in front of my eyes. And those what ifs are so beautiful to see happening. And I'm at the point in my life that I've found so much clarity. I've found my strength again. I have found the connection of what I can do in this world and the dreams and possibilities I can achieve, that I'm putting myself back out into the job market. And I'm comfortable with that. And I'm excited for that. I remember mentioning earlier that I don't know if I could go back. But once you become aligned in your truth, in your path, and every chapter you're in, you can do it. I know that there are things that I need to be aligned in a role and in a position, and it's not just the next job for me anymore. It is going to be with purpose, with intention, with meaning, with companies that have such a vision and a mission where they are achieving greatness in this world, where I'm going to be able to rise up and utilize my voice, utilize my ideas and dreams, and help push that company further. I have so much experience. I was rewriting my resume this morning and just seeing my experience, I was floored. I've always looked at myself as, oh, I don't have the experience. But then when you finally take the time, and I think that's the thing we're not doing, we don't take the time. But I finally took the time. I took the time this morning. 2 hours. Was it enough? I don't know. But this morning, 2 hours was enough for one resume, one job application, to see what I have achieved in my life and how I'm still achieving. The Sydney Jocelyn Collective, She Rises Through It, that is not dead one bit. That is growing more than ever, and it's going to continue to grow, even when I get back into the job market. Being able to show myself that I can start a company on my own and continue to push through and strive for what I want to see this to do, like, that is a phenomenal vision. And it takes a lot of hard work. It has a lot of doubts. It has a lot of what ifs. But the what if it does work out, and it is working out, is the most glorious feeling in the world. I'm so grateful. And yesterday, so I work with a school district right now, part-time, kind of to help out with kindergartners and preschoolers, especially in like the time my family also needs some financial stability. And when I quit my job, we lost a lot of financial stability. And that has nothing to do with this, because that's besides the point. Money doesn't determine your worth. Wealth doesn't determine your worth one bit, or if you're enough. But yesterday, we had a mandatory all-staff meeting. And in this meeting, we had an inspirational, motivational speaker that they brought in, Mark Sharonbrock. And his story was about nice bike, about making the difference. And especially when you are in a career in an industry that is being support for children, it is all about the gratitude. it is about how can I be that one person to make a connection, to make a child feel like they are enough because we don't know what they're going through. If we look at ourselves and turn inwards and do that inner work and see some of the trauma that has happened, how can you be the influence for other children, right? You really have to focus on yourself and turn inwards. But finding that purpose and that connection with the child, being that individual that gives a compliment, that gets to know a couple things about them or more. They're not just another number. An employee is not just another number. Anybody and everybody on this podcast that listens to it or reaches out to me, signs up for my collective, signs up for my retreat, you're not just another number. You are a person with purpose, with a vision, looking to go after your dreams. And you are seen in this space always, always and forever. Because I'm seen in this space too, right? You are allowing me to be seen right now. And I hold so much love and heart for that. And I think that's why it's brought me to, working with the schools right now. I understand what it means to have children with rare diseases and going into the hospital, being hospitalized randomly, emergency visits, calling 911, having the ambulance come, seeing your son ambulance to a hospital, seeing him almost die, turning blue. I have seen it. I have been through so much trauma in the last 2.5 years. And getting to be that little inspiration for a kid right now, because we don't know what they're going through in their life, is such a phenomenal feeling. And that's how I want to go about my life. And that's how I want to go about finding and aligning with my next career, my next position, is a company that wants to make a difference, a company that dreams like no other and builds with purpose. I think I said purpose, right? Well, I'm saying it again because you know what? Sometimes I lose my words when I'm super excited. But aligning myself. And I need to make sure, and I think anybody going on this road or this path is aligning on what are your core values? What are your core values? And when you are looking at a company or at a move, do they align with you? I love how that was resonated in Mark's speech yesterday because it is everything that has been on my heart. I have been in companies that have not had a mission or a vision, and we've tried on a marketing standpoint to get them to align and have that mission and vision, but they just couldn't. For me, I am such a heartfelt individual. I will put my heart and soul into a position to build it and for the company, for the ownership team, because I see the potential that they want to put out into this world. The thing is you have to have strong leadership and a strong company that also believes in the same thing. And that's the purpose I'm going for. That's my story, my what ifs, and bringing those what ifs alive. Finding the love within myself. So what if you get to make this change? What if it opens the door to brand new possibilities for you? I think something that we forget to look at is being grateful where we're at right now. And being grateful that I've heard this phrase a lot lately. We came into this world with nothing. We're leaving this world with nothing. There will not be a U-Haul vehicle behind your hearse. I heard that in a motivational speech yesterday morning, and I heard it from my pastor on his Sunday service. It hit me hard on that because all of our what ifs, what if it doesn't work out? What if I fail? And always looking at the negatives, but in the end, it's what if it does work out? Because no matter what, I have everything and anything I need right now. I don't need anything more. I don't need the next best thing. I came in with nothing. I'm going to be able to survive and figure it out. and still strive. And I think that's one of the biggest tools for me coming back to is the starting over moments is gratitude and being grateful where I'm at and my gratitude shifting with my energy. And when life, feels uncertain, the gratitude reminds me that even here, even now, I already have enough. I am enough. I am worthy. You are enough. You are worthy. And I started a new thing in my journal this week. I don't know if you guys follow me on social media. If not, obviously, here's a plug. Go check me out on social media. Um, because I talk about and I do come on my daily life. So you don't have to wait every week for a podcast of what's on her heart and soul. I do show up on my social media, sharing my story there too, and what's kind of happening exactly in that moment. Like this podcast, this is exactly kind of the theme of the week so far. And I'm like, wow, this is powerful. In my journal, I started doing a lot of alignment. So this week I wrote down like all the things that I'm focusing on in the areas in my life that I'm having happen. And I shut my eyes. I put one hand on my heart and one on my stomach. And I asked myself, close my eyes and I asked myself, does this align with me? And if I got the immediate yes in my head, I would allow it like more thoughts to come through on like, why does it align? And then I'd write in my journal, yes, and why it aligned. And if it didn't, I'd write no. And something else would come up like, this is temporary for now. This isn't a forever thing. At least I knew in my heart and soul, like, okay, I have this right now and I'm grateful for it, but it's not forever. And then I started doing gratitude and manifestations at the end of it. But I switched it up this week because I thought, you know what? Why not add a little extra spice in my life? We need some spice. We need to like change things up and see how it's going. So I wrote down, what am I grateful for? What am I releasing? And what am I receiving? I think that's the thing we forget to do, or the things we forget to do is to talk about what we're grateful for. What are we releasing? And what are we receiving? Because what if it all works out? What if it all works out? And here in this moment, I'm releasing the negative beliefs about myself that I am not worthy. Because I am receiving that I am worthy. I am enough. And this is all going to work out. Just that change in your mindset and the change in your phrasing of words can make the most difference in your life. I cannot tell you enough. I prayed yesterday on my way to drop my kids off at daycare. Driving, I like to pray. That's kind of my time for me and God to connect. And I just asked for a sign. I was like, you know what? I just need to know you're here with me. And sometimes in our faith, we're like, oh, he's not here. And you know what? Maybe you're not religious, and that's okay. You're still loved. I still love you. I still love you. But, I pray with him, and I was just like, I just need a little bit of you right now. I'm grateful for you. I'm grateful for this journey that you're putting me on. I know that I'm on this journey for a reason. I know I needed to break away from that corporate career for a pause, for a moment, to realign myself and to come back to myself and to live wholeheartedly in your grace. So show me a little sign, please. And then after that, I started listening to a podcast, talked about gratitude, talked about the what ifs. And then I went to the motivational speaker for work, and it talked about nice bike, making a difference, connecting, having core values. What if? What if? What if you paused? What if you asked the questions? Make sure you do ask the questions and take this moment. And then in the evening, I listened to my church service on Sunday because we were at the cabin and I missed it. And it was the same message. The exact same message. And how rare is that within 2 days, you see a picture on a wall in a coffee shop that says, what if it all works out? And then the next day you ask for a sign. And you literally have a podcast that talks about gratitude. The title didn't talk about gratitude, so I didn't know it was going to talk about that. It just says, listen to this every morning for motivation. So I did. I was like, perfect. I need motivation this morning. And I didn't know what the speaker was going to talk about. I didn't research him prior. I probably should have because it's all over his social media. And then we did a family walk last night. And on that walk, Jordan's like, listen to your music. And I tried putting music on. I'm like, I can't listen to this right now. This doesn't align with me. And I was like, you know what? Turn it on my church service. And I listened to that and I was like, wow, this is so powerful. Like, how is this all aligned? All three of them. And I'm like, this was the sign I needed. I asked for a sign and I got a sign. 3 ways I got a sign. And I just was floored and being so grateful that I've been taking this moment to pause, this moment to come back to myself. And I think just refocusing our mindset, taking a moment to pause, to reset, and really asking ourselves those 3 questions. What am I grateful for? What am I releasing? And what am I receiving? Can open up so much possibilities. And changing the way that we say what if versus it being negative and making it more optimistic. I mean, I kid you not. It's such a gift and it's such courage to be able to do that. And you know what? Being present and taking the time and the pause for this and doing all of this in our work and knowing what aligns and what doesn't align, like, that's where your courage is born. That is where your what if turns into possibilities. And I'm so grateful for all of it. And I'm doing a lot of realignment this week. It's been a lot. And over the last 5 months, I focused on my health and wellness, but I haven't focused on it like I used to show up all the time about my health and wellness. And then people started asking about it again. And like that, I've been so grateful for because I'm like, wow, that's a reminder that I need to fully get myself back into it and start talking about it more. Because I've been doing my inner health, my mental health, physical. I have my own self-doubts, but don't we all? But I've also learned to love my body a lot more since my retreat. I have learned to look in the mirror and tell myself that I love myself. And wear no makeup, where I normally always wear makeup. Just being comfortable in my own skin because I was perfectly curated. And, I think thinking about that, let's kind of jump over into presence. And when we're talking about the presence, I've learned with starting over that I also need to focus on reaching a bigger version of myself. And I need my body to feel supported. So I teach yoga once a week. I've been doing bar classes. However, my schedules are shifting and it's not aligning anymore. So I finally pulled the plug and I started working out at home again. I was thinking I'd work out and do yoga in the morning. That doesn't fully align with me all the time. Yoga is more than just the poses. Yoga is your mindset, setting intentions, and like, how are you going to go about your day? It's really living with purpose and digging back into my spiritual health. It's a beautiful beginning and beautiful journey, but it's also, for me, like working out's a little bit different. So this morning, I let my body feel a little bit more supported. I did a 25-minute lower body workout and I was like, wow, I'm starting over because I have not lifted in a couple months. I have done everything else but not weightlift. And it's another moment of I'm starting over and I'm, in my head, I could say, what if I fail at working out? Here's the thing. I know I'm not going to fail. I have worked out, I would say probably for the last 5 years. And I never used to before, but I'm starting over kind of in a way. I'm just shifting everything again. And I had to start from ground zero. I had to drop weights. which I never thought I would have to do in a long time. But taking the pause, focusing on yoga, focusing on bar, I lost some of my muscle. So now I'm trying to build that back. And I need my body to feel supported. And I can't rise into my best self if my energy is depleted, if I'm not taking care of myself, if your health is running on empty, or if your nervous system is constantly on overdrive. You cannot take care of yourself. Just this 25 minutes this morning felt so amazing for me for knowing I can do this. That's the reason also why I do my bioactive precision peptides and I have that into my daily rhythm. It's giving me control of what I put into my body that are natural, non-synthetic products that are so good at a cellular level. Well, they're not just another wellness trend. There's a lot of things out there that are wellness trends, but they are literally the building blocks of our body. Peptides are the building blocks. Chains of amino acids that have singular repair, there's healing, there's growth. They truly work on a cellular level, like I mentioned, which means they don't just mask your symptoms. They help your body do what it's designed to do, which is restore balance. And that is what I have been working on. I have done my mental side. I am working on my physical and inner side fully now and sharing that further. So for me, I love these products. I'm just saying, I cannot wait to do another unbox. I have an unboxing coming. You guys should go follow me on social. But let me tell you why I continue to love these, right? They're supporting deeper sleep for me. I struggle with sleep. There are moments I toss and turn and that I cannot sleep at all. And I have to turn on my somatic music, which does help me sleep. But they have helped me so much better because I used to be on sleep medication. And sleep medication doesn't help you like bioactive precision peptides. Sleep medication just basically masks everything and you feel so groggy afterwards. The peptides, they're not like this quick fix. They're progressively saying yes to my longevity, right? They're helping me in my cells find that REM sleep that I need and helping support my hormones, helping support my muscles, my immune system. And I'm saying yes to so much more energy, helping my body just reset when I've pushed too hard. And I've been pushing a lot in my life. But they're part of my starting over toolkit, you guys. Gratitude, mindfulness, inner work, and putting holistic products into my body that I fully support and love. And that's my Make Wellness and my bioactive precision peptides. And I'm also saying yes to myself. I'm saying yes to having the energy, the vitality for my children, for my husband, to chase after my kids, you guys. Oh my gosh. To lead retreats, to hold space for each and every one of you, to show up every Thursday night and teach yoga, to show up at a school and a church and work with children and still have space for my dreams and know that I'm going to build the career of a lifetime. And that feels like, honestly, one of the most radical acts of gratitude for my body. So I am grateful for that each and every day. I'm so grateful that I showed up today. I pushed play and I worked my lower body and knowing it's okay to start from ground zero because I have all of this other support that I've been doing that is helping me lead a better lifestyle. And it's giving me what I need to keep carrying forward. So if you want to know more about bioactive precision peptides, check out my show notes. It will all be there. Reach out to me. Let's talk about them and how I can help you on a multi-level journey of your health and wellness, from somatic exploration work to your what ifs of what if it all works out and everything becomes so beautiful for you, to focusing on what you're grateful for daily, being that voice to tell you that you're doing an amazing job, even if you don't feel like it. You may not be feeling like it on the inside, but on the outside, I'm going to cheer you on like I've always said. Finding ways to help you release what was and finding ways to help you receive what is and what ifs. So here's what I want to leave you with today. What if you gave yourself permission to begin again? What if you said yes to that whisper that's been nudging you to leap? And what if you trusted that gratitude, aligned action, and truly caring for your body could open the door to a life that you've only been imagining? Because here's the truth, you guys. As I've always said, you are not behind. You are becoming. And the leap that's on your heart, it might just be the most important step that you'll ever take. So I want to thank you for being with me. As always, I'm always grateful for you for showing up, for listening, and for doing the work of becoming. Remember, you're not behind, you're becoming. And here at the Sydney Jocelyn Collective, you'll never rise through it alone. We rise through it together. Until next time, loves, keep rising. Thank you for being here. If today's episode moved something in you, let me know. I'd love to hear from you. You can find me on Instagram at Sydney Jocelyn. That's where I share daily reflections, creative sparks, and behind the scenes of everything I'm building. You can also explore my work offerings and retreats at sydneyjocelyn.com. You're not behind, you're becoming. And you don't have to do it all alone. We rise through it together.